Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel.
Not since Dracula stalked the earth has the world known so terrifying a day or night.
Oh my god. Today I am back with another hair video. It's been almost a year. I created yesterday, okay. Of course my hair had to ended up like this. I don't know if I should have it like this or parted like in the middle because that's how I cut it. Not in the middle, but I don't know what's better. Oh well, I'm so mad right now. What is a hair video with bad hair? Me, I guess.
Let me...
Basically, this is gonna be a little bit of a routine update, a product update, as well as just a beginner's little guide with some information and some people. I'm not technical, like I don't have specific information, so that's why this can be like a starting point for beginners on like where to go, little tips that I have, little things that I do in order to help with your curly hair journey. So yeah, this might be a very long video, but I make sure to put timestamps down below in like that little chapters format so you can click along the bottom here. And most likely my products and my method will be towards the end, and this first little part is going to be more information based. And same with the products, I'm going to go in product by product with pictures because I'm not bringing the products here. With pictures to basically help y'all with that. And yeah, on to the next thing that I wanted to address. I'm not an expert on hair, curly hair. I'm not a hairdresser. I'm none of that. My curly hair journey has basically been from 2018, so it hasn't been incredibly long, okay? But I've learned a lot. And I also have to credit a lot of what I know and all that stuff from Mains by Mel, because she really gives like the science behind a lot of things, and I need that. Like I need to know why does this work, why does this not work, why do you do this, why don't you do this, like is that a myth about curly hair or not? Like, so I highly recommend, once again, she'll be linked down below, like my favorite little videos of hers, and her beginners playlist will be in the description. Okay, you're welcome in advance. So first of all, thank you all so much. If you're back from my last hair video, welcome back. That's the most popular video on my channel. Like I still can't believe my curly hair journey has like 3,000 views, and my hair routine has 2,000, and I'm like, what the frick? So yeah, thank you all so much for the views, the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. I noticed that it blew up with the pandemic, like just as the pandemic was kind of starting. My curly hair journey video that I posted, I think in 2019 or 2018, whatever year that was, oh my god, that blew up with the pandemic. It had like no views, obviously, like most of my videos, they had very small amount of views. And then with the pandemic, I guess people were more interested in their curly hair journey, and I think that's so cool. That's so interesting to me. Again, timestamps will be down below, so let's get into the first segment. So this is going to be my little curly hair journey. For those of you who haven't seen either videos, I guess I'll put a card or I'll put a link down below in case you want to. So my curly hair journey started back in 2018, right before college. I had kind of frizzy, basically like my hair kind of like now, just kind of like wavy, straight, just like very damaged. I did have a history of like bleaching my hair, dyeing it some color back in my teen years. That's a whole other story. But very damaged and kind of straight, and it was like, yeah, just go watch my last video to get more in-depth stuff about my past, my journey. But since then, even my last video, since doing my last video, as you can see, my hair has grown significantly. I used to be like up to here. And over the past year, it's grown quite a bit, especially with curly hair, like the shrinkage and everything. So yeah, it's grown a lot. But yeah, I'm kind of like trying to grow it out. I always go to chop it, but this time I didn't. Progress, growth. If you're new to curly hair and everything, you might be kind of in on hair types. So you might hear the term 1A, 4C, 3A, like these terms put around. I'll put a chart here. And I might even put it in the title. It might be in the title, but we really don't use this. It's not necessary. So when looking for your hair type, you should really be looking for your density.
I'm your density.
And thickness, the texture of your hair. So you can find out what you need in other people that have your sort of hair. It's not the person with a wavy hair and curly hair might even use the same products. They might use them a little bit differently, but you know, they might have the same problem areas. They might have the same thickness and density that allows them to use the same product. So you don't know. It's not like, oh, that person has 3A hair, I can use the same products as them. Because everyone's hair is different, and don't feel like pushed into a certain box and like, because you might do that, you know? Basically, I have medium density that varies throughout my head. So like, as you can see, like towards my scalp, it's a little bit thinner density. It makes my forehead look so big. It's a bit like thinner around this area, right? This side of my head, this side up here, this is always kind of like my thinnest area. So the thinnest density and like thickness of each strand is usually around this area, which is why the side is always lays a little bit more flat than the other side. It bugs me. So I just kind of categorize as kind of like medium, but like on the lower end of medium. So I don't have super full voluminous hair, but it's not completely thin and flat all the time. Yeah, I always wish my hair was bigger. So that's like the kind of products that I use. I try to have a good balance between volume and definition. I don't want it to be too frizzy, but I would prefer it to be big if possible. But I don't have super big hair. That's just how it is. I cut my hair a few days ago. So yes, it's grown, but I've also just cut it to some like layers and stuff. Yeah. I was gonna go for like a shag type of haircut, but I guess I'm too scared, or like my hair just doesn't do it. Another thing is that I have, this is my natural hair color. This is non-color treated whatsoever. This is like just non-color treated, so my products will also go with that. I don't use color treating shampoos or anything like that. I don't need to. Another thing about my hair is that I have kind of like a bit of like scalp issues. I suffer from like chronic like dandruff, dry scalp, but then also like oily scalp. You know, I grew up with like psoriasis, eczema, still there. So I use products that and wash according to that. So just remember, like someone says, you're not supposed to wash your hair super often and everything. You have to do what works best for you. Washing your hair every day for curly hair is not the best, but I would say like every 3 days is okay. That's fine. Every other day, kind of risky, but like whatever really works for you. It depends on how often you work out, what you do for work, what is your scalp like all this stuff. And you can also do treatments that will help you prolong your wash day. Another thing about me, I don't follow the curly girl method to a T, but I do tend to stay away from things like silicones and sulfates just because that's what I find works best for my hair, in my opinion.
That's my opinion!
But if something has a little bit of silicone in it, it's not the end of the world. If something has a sulfate in it, I don't really like that. I really try to stay away from sulfates. I really don't like the squeakiness in my hair, the tangliness. It's just, I'm fine. But remember to clarify. Okay? Yeah, so that is stuff about me. If any of those things you relate to or anything like that, then you might want to continue watching, because that's kind of what everything gears towards, if that makes any sense. On to the next part. Tips for beginners. Where do I even begin? This segment is going to be short because I'm sending you over to Mains by Mal. Unfortunately, it's very up to each person what works for them, and how your hair really takes products and what you need. Every person is different, so it takes a while to really find out what works for you. It takes a lot of different products to go through until you find the right ones. But as I said previously, you should go watch Mains by Mal. She really goes in depth with a lot of different things, a lot of ingredient breakdowns and methods that work, and very specific. So I really recommend that. But tips for beginners, if I had any tips for beginners, just start really taking care of your hair with, like, put down the heat, make sure that you're conditioning, make sure you're using masks on your hair, to make sure you're locking in the moisture. Maybe if you have like really heavily treated hair, bleached hair, or just heat damaged hair, use a lot of like protein masks. Just be careful not to put them on for too long because you will kill your hair. Yeah, Mains by Mal probably has a video on that too. Maybe at least once a week wear masks to help with your moisture and to repair your hair. And at the very least, after you shower, put in a leave-in conditioner. If you're very new, that's how you can kind of like start going in to all of that, and really like save your hair as you're like transitioning. Another thing is that when you sleep, try like a bonnet, satin bonnet. I'll put pictures here: satin bonnet, satin scarf. I go for satin because I don't use silk, but if you like silk, whatever, use silk or satin bonnets, scarves, or pillowcases. And this stops with like the friction and it really helps protect your hair. And yeah, like in a pineapple, put your hair in a pineapple so you don't sleep on it and mess with it, right? On to the next section. Here we are at the product overview, baby. We're here. This is where I'm going to be breaking down all of the products that I use and my favorite products, because we're in a pandemic. Ontario's still in lockdown, so I don't get to use my favorite products. Can't get them. They're not producing them, stuff like that. But I'll go through certain products that I use, why I use them, why you might not want to use them, why you might want to use them. For my shampoo, we're starting off at the beginning of the routine. I use the aloe vera and eucalyptus sulfate-free shampoo by Herbal Essences. This is sulfate-free. It's for scalp balance, and so like I really like that. It makes me feel clean. It lathers very well, and it doesn't feel super harsh, but it feels like it cleans, and that's something that I need, especially because if you watched earlier and you didn't just skip to this point, I mentioned how my scalp is very weird, where it goes from like oily, dandruffy, I have like psoriasis type of issues, especially as the seasons transition and I go from like humid to dry. It's not a good feeling, and I absolutely hate it. And this is also another reason why, if you're new to the curly girl method or your natural hair journey, why you should be a little bit weary of no poos or co-washes or anything like that. Just be careful, okay? Because that's the issue that happened with Diva Curl. If you know why Diva Curl, we don't talk about her anymore. And it's because it causes like hair loss when you have a buildup of products. It also creates, when you're not cleansing your scalp properly, it creates like yeast. Again, Mains by Mal, she has a whole video about the Diva Curl issue and how there's another product, I forget what it's called, but they had the same issue like years ago with like this no lather shampoo, like moisturizing shampoo. So just make sure that if you're using these, I think they're good in the beginning to make sure that you keep moisture, but make sure that you're clarifying with, but a little bit more clarifying of a shampoo at least once a week, you know, every other wash, just to make sure that that's not happening to you, because scalp issues, especially in curly hair world, everyone at one time or another has like a scalp issue, I feel. Anyway, love this product. This has kind of been my go-to one for a while now. I don't use the conditioner that pairs with it because there's like one that pairs with them in this collection because it has silicone in it, and it doesn't have a good slip. So I just don't feel like it's very moisturizing, so I don't go for that one, but try it out, you might like it. The conditioner that I do use is the Pantene Nutrient Blends Complete Curl Care Conditioner with jojoba oil. This unfortunately contains something called the itchy M's, which I'm not personally familiar with, but this product doesn't give me any scalp issues that I noticed. But maybe look into the itchy M's. They're basically these certain ingredients that start with M that are known to irritate some people, so look into that. It's sulfate and silicone free, which I love. It has good slip, so I definitely feel like it moisturizes my hair and I don't have any issues. Again, I don't use the shampoo version of this because this also comes in another partnered in the line. That's because it leaves a weird like film on my hair. I don't know what ingredients causes that, but it leaves like a film, even though it's silicone free. And as much as I like this conditioner and that I use it frequently, I tend to like the Gabrielle Union Flawless deep 3-minute mask, like daily conditioner it's called, I believe. I made a video on the shampoo and conditioner before, and that conditioner is by far like my favorite. I just haven't been able to get it because stores are closed here in Ontario. Onto the leave-in. So the products that I use, depending on your hair type, you might want to use a leave-in, a cream, like a curl cream, and then your gel or mousse, whatever. I just use leave-in. Don't ask me why. For me, I feel like less is more, so that's why I use just leave-in. The one that I use today and in this routine that I'm going to show you is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Leave-In by Proclaim. This is a bit of a thicker consistency, and because of the castor oil, it is definitely like a very moisturizing, like your hair can end up greasy really quick if you use too much. So you'll see in the method that I only use like about this size. The issue with this, why you might not want to use it in the winter months, is that it has glycerin, which is not very good for super humid climates or super dry climates. Again, Mains by Mel did a whole video on that. Go check it out and she explains it all. Humectants are good for around I think like the best temperature is like 15-16 degrees Celsius is like when these humectants really shine. The next leave-in conditioner that I really like and that I use, if I'm not using the last one, then I'm using this one, and this is Black Vanilla Leave-In by Carol's Daughter. This is extremely lightweight. I love that for my hair because it gives you a lot of wiggle room in terms of like how much you need to use. That last one that I mentioned, it's very easy to go overboard, like a little bit more and you're like, you've messed up your hair. But this one, you spray it and it's really hard to go overboard, and that's what I really love about it. Plus, it's lightweight. This one also has glycerin and protein in it. So again, might not be good for super dry climates or super humid climates. And I believe has protein in it, which if you're using too many protein ingredients, you might find that your hair is a little bit stiff, a little bit frizzy, not entirely balanced. So keep that in mind. Mains by Mel also has a video on that. Next, for special occasions, I will use the Aveda Thickening Tonic right after my leave-in. This product is kind of expensive, but it works for volume. If you want volume without it being frizzy, is it. That's it. If I was rich, I'd use that every single time. I brush it through from roots to tips. You can probably find a tutorial on exactly how you use it, but make sure that you brush it through. You don't want to like leave it on your scalp. It'll make you look a little greasy and everything. This product, the thickening tonic that I'm talking about, should not be confused with the volumizing tonic. Okay, do not confuse the two. They're not the same. Anyway, lastly, what I use product-wise is the Totally Twisted Gel by Herbal Essences. This isn't my favorite, and neither is the mousse format of this. The mousse version doesn't have any silicones, but the gel does have PEG 12, which take with that what you will. The issue with this for me is that I realized for a long time that I wasn't using enough, so I thought it was just trash. But you just have to kind of use a lot, and then it works for me. I definitely prefer the Zotos Professional Gel for the hold, and you don't really need a lot. I love that one. But above all else, the AG Mousse Gel is, although it's expensive, it's my favorite. It lasts a long time for me. But I think they stopped producing it during COVID because they had some issues, and also can't get it in store if they did, because I'm in Ontario. So that's all for the products. Now I'm going to go in with like the different tools that I use that are a staple in my routine, and that is the 9-row silicone brush by Ion, which is also known as like a Denman brush. Have you ever heard of a Denman brush? It looks like this. It's all around great for styling. There's so many different uses for it, and it's just perfect and a staple in my routine. Love it. Not necessary though. I used to use just like a regular like flat comb to brush through my product. That works. But this. And lastly, for my little product overview, is a scalp massager shampoo brush. This is great for like stimulating your scalp, you know, for scalp care. I heard that it helps with like dandruff, stuff like that, and also just like help growing your hair, bringing like blood flow to your scalp, all that good stuff. And I just love it. I got mine off of Amazon for like $5 or less. So yes. Now on to the next section. Welcome to the methods area of this video. So I did film in the shower. I tried that last time and it's just very weird. So if I don't insert the footage, then you know why. I either do my method upside down, like when I'm applying product like I'm showing you today, or I will do it upright and kind of use the Denman brush or Ion brush. I'll just call it the fake Denman brush, and kind of brush things away from the scalp. Always, everything that I do is away and everything to create volume. So yeah, now I'll go in to show you my little method, maybe with a little voiceover. I will talk to you in voiceover format now. So now we're just going right into my routine here. This is how much I lost that day. Usually it's more, but that's for now. Right now I'm just rinsing out my conditioner. I leave it in for the rest of my shower before I style. And here, before any product goes in, I'm just brushing through, flattening the hair, going in with my leave-in conditioner and using praying hands so I can really get it over each strand of the hair. That's my goal, is always to make sure that I get it through all strands. And then I go over and continue to just distribute it. Now going in with my gel, a lot of it for this one. And again, just doing the same thing, just making sure that it gets over all the strands, all over my hair. And then we do the little scrunch. And this is me plopping. I do it in the shower, which takes talent, I'd say. You know, gotta censor that. My boobies. And this is just so you can see how to do that. Yeah, I'm posing. Oh my god. And now this is as I do my makeup, I just let it air dry for a bit, and you know, just make sure to get most of that moisture and natural product out. And then this is how I diffuse it, is make sure that I don't really touch it all that much, just go over to build like a cast, even though I don't really get casts anymore. You know, you just don't want to mess it up. And here's a finished product. Okay, so you just seen my method, my routine, my products, and all my little tips and tricks. But yes, that was very in-depth. I hope I explained everything enough. I hope. Make sure that you're patient with yourself, with your hair. It is a journey for a reason. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, you know? If you have any questions or if I forget anything, then I'll be in the comments. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. Love y'all. Au revoir. It's raining very hard.